Is he really into you, or are you just another option? Now, if you've ever been confused about where you stand with a man, this is the video for you. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down clear signs to show whether he is serious about you or are you wasting your time. Now, relationships can be very tricky, especially if you don't know a man's true intentions, because one minute he may be giving you all of his attention and the next minute he's very distant, So how do you really know if you see a real future with him? Or is he just keeping you around just for convenience? So let's break this down right now. So one clear sign to tell if a man is serious is if he's consistent and not just there when it's convenient. Now, a man who is serious about you doesn't just show up when it suits him best. He just doesn't show up when he wants to show up. He is consistent on showing up. His words matches his action, and he takes effort to be present in your life. He calls you, he texts you, he plans regular dates. He isn't disappearing where he's like just ghosted or you just don't talk to him. And he doesn't just disappear during the day, like you don't hear from him during the day. You get that special text, hey, you up text at night. And y'all know what I'm talking about. There's a conversation all throughout the day. And not just for one days, but it's a daily thing. It's a daily routine for him to make sure he's checking in on you. His efforts are steady, meaning that he's not just hitting you up when he's bored. He's not just hitting you up when he's lonely. He's not just hitting you up because he needs somebody around, but he really has a true interest in being around you and being in contact and talking with you. Now, with consistency, this is a man who, again, keeps their word, but also follow throughs with their promises, meaning that if they say they're going to do something, they do it. And not only that they do it, but they do it when they say they're going to do it. Now, consistency comes with putting in the effort. Many times with men, we don't really put in the effort if we're not really interested in you. We don't put in that day in, day out. We're texting, we're saying good morning, all the way up to the good nights. We're not coming to make intentional time with you because you're not the priority. For men, when we see a woman that we like, you become the priority. You become the priority, and we are consistent in making sure that we are available for you and that we're here for you and just letting you know, hey, we want to show that we are serious about making a connection with you. Now, another sign to tell that a man is serious is that he's talking about the future, and not just talking about the future, but talking about the future and you being included in the future. So he's talking about the future and you're actually in it. You're actually in his future. He can see and visualize his future with you. When we don't see a woman that we can marry, we don't see a woman that we can spend the rest of our life with, a woman that we can have children with, we aren't gonna make the effort to pursue that woman. Now, when a man is serious, he's not just talking about the moment. He's not just talking about today or next week when he talks about you. He's not talking about, hey, what are we gonna do today? Or, hey, do you wanna go here next week? Or, it can be even something extravagant, like, hey, you wanna go on a vacation next month? It's a real serious conversation. Possibly he's talking about buying a home, like he includes you. He's using the language of we. When we buy a home, he's not saying, oh, when I buy a home. And that's a big one, because when a man is using the language of I, that means that you're not included, right? You were not included in his plans. But now when he starts talking about we include you as well too. So be sure that when you are thinking about, is this man serious? Pay attention to his language. Pay attention to his lingo. Pay attention to what he's saying. Is he saying, I want to do this, or we should do this? That makes a huge difference in knowing if a man is super serious about you or not. And also, when it comes down to including you in the future, he's asking you, hey, what are your dreams? What are your ambitions? What are the things that you would like to do? And this is the reason why this is an important question, is because a man wants to really see where your head is at. A man really wants to see, do my dreams align with what I have going on? Or can I support this woman in getting her needs met with the dreams and aspirations that she has? So this is us again. Men, we're very calculated. So we think about, okay, Does this piece fit with this? Can I see myself with this person? If this person has dreams of becoming whatever it is, can I see myself align with that? And when he talks about you guys having a future together, he doesn't avoid the conversation around commitment. He's not avoiding the conversation around the commitment and trying to keep things casual. Commitment does imply that there's a future. Commitment isn't just, okay, we're doing this right now. Commitment is, hey, we're going to make a commitment to do whatever it is that we said we're going to do, and we're going to be in it for the long run. When a man's talking about, hey, we're going to be in it for the long run, and he's including you and saying we, and he's really grasping the idea of your future aspirations, that is a good sign that he is thinking about you in his future. Red flags are obviously him dodging future questions like topics of, hey, we're just seeing where things go, we're probably not serious, or hey, we're just gonna, see what happens. Those are all red flags to show a man isn't really committed and he doesn't see a future with you. Now, I said this a little bit earlier, but I want to dive a little bit deeper into this where he's making you a priority and not an option. All right, a priority and not an option. Now, when a man is serious, he makes time for you. And that's point blank period. He makes time for you. He's not sitting here, oh, what do you want to do? Or just doing things off the limb. He's very intentional about spending time with you. Like, hey, I have this going on, but I'm free at this time. Or, hey, what time are you available? I'll make time for you. Because time is the most valuable asset. That's why we're doing this whole video here, because you want to make sure you're not wasting your time. But if he's making time for you and being intentional with the time that you guys are spending together, it's a less likely chance of you actually wasting your time. So you also never have to wonder where you stand because he shows up. He shows up and follows through with his actions. Now, when he makes an effort, and this is a really, really good sign, is when he makes an effort when he's super busy. Say a man is working a 12-hour shift and you only see him once in a while, but he comes to see you after his 12-hour shift, or, you guys make time to talk, even if he's working all day. That's a good sign to tell that he's making you the priority. Now, another part of this is when we talk about keeping your word is that he's not canceling plans. He's not making things last minute, and that he's standing by you. Now, you don't want to feel as if you're chasing for his attention. You don't want to feel as if you are putting all the effort into trying to make time, or you're putting him the priority when you're not the priority, you're an option. Because if you're not the priority, I could rest assured that you are just an option, and that the man has multiple options to choose from because you're not the priority. Now, a red flag with this is that if you feel like he's not being consistent, if you feel like you're always waiting for him or you're always making time, safe to say you're not the priority. Safe to say you're not the priority. Now, another sign of this is that he introduced you to his inner circle. Now, a man that is not afraid to show you off is a man worth investing in, because he's not afraid to show like, hey, I care about this woman, or this is my lady, or this is the person I'm interested in right now. He's not afraid to do that. So what this looks like is that he's introducing you to his friends, he's introducing you to his family, and he's proud that you're part of his personal life. He wants to show folks that, hey, look, this is somebody that I really care about, and this is actually a person that I'm invested in. Now, a red flag is that, if you guys have been dating for a while, you don't know his friends, you never met his family, and you just kind of like this dark figure in his life. And I'm using the word dark figure because that's exactly what you are. You're like in the shadow, and you haven't been really shown to other people. That's a telltale red flag that he may not be interested in you, and you may be wasting your time with this man. Now, the last sign is that he's emotionally available and able to communicate. Now, a serious man will build a real connection that requires emotional openness. Now, issue with men, we don't always have that emotional intelligence. We don't always have that insight of how to express our emotions and what to do with our emotions. But there are men out there that know how to do that. And many times what that looks like is him talking about his feelings, even if it's not easy for him. A man may not have all the words, especially since we don't have that emotional intelligence all the time, but not being afraid to even make the attempt. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect, but there has to be some attempt in there. Now, his willingness to work through issues instead of shutting down or being disappointed. The willingness, again, it doesn't have to be perfect, but a man has to be open and be able to see you as somebody he can feel comfortable with emotionally. Now, if a man doesn't feel emotionally comfortable with you, he's not going to be fully vested in you. And that's the fact of the matter, unfortunately. So if a man shuts down, if a man isn't really there for you emotionally or doesn't really want to express himself, that's a telltale sign that he may not be fully vested in the relationship or trying to build something with you because he doesn't feel comfortable talking to you. There's a lot of men that I've worked with over the years that literally will tell me, I cannot express myself to my lady. What if that's a wife, girlfriend, somebody you're dating? And that's not because the man can't express himself. It's just really that he doesn't feel comfortable. He doesn't feel safe with communicating how he feels. Now, red flag in this is that if he avoids deep connection, difficult conversations, becomes distant, not emotionally available, he's not ready for a serious relationship. He's not ready for a serious relationship, and that's okay. Ladies, that's okay if a man is not ready for a serious relationship, because what that tells you is you have to move on. What that tells you is it gives you clarity around the whole situation, the whole nine. So be thankful if these signs or these red flags are coming up, because you have a choice now to stay or not stay. But again, it is a choice that you have to make. So after watching this video, is he serious or do you feel like you're wasting your time? Now, the signs are always there. It's just a matter of you paying attention to them. Now, what I want to hear from you is, have you ever been in a situation where any of this stood true? Have you ever been in a situation where you may have not been a priority, a man wasn't able to emotionally open up to you, a man is inconsistent, or he doesn't talk about having a future with you? I'm kind of curious to know. Drop it in the comments and let me know if you've ever dealt with a man that has had, if not one, all these situations and scenarios that were mentioned in this video. Now, remember this, the right man is not going to question your worth. You're not going to have any questions. He's going to show up. He's going to follow through with his actions. He's going to be a man of his word, and he's going to make you feel as if you're not wasting your time. I appreciate y'all for tapping in. Thank you guys for watching. Until next time, y'all take care.